Do you remember the big like Freddie Prinze joke where he's like, my mother was a Hungarian, my dad was a Puerto Rican, so I'm a Hungarican?
No. That was his big joke.
That was his big joke, and that's like hack now, right? And so this is what's happening with the N-word. Is now like in 5 years, there's going to be somebody who's like, big joke is my dad was Nigerian and my mother was from Germany, so I'm
That is funny. That is funny.
That's a lot less hack.
Are you going to use that? Or
No.
yeah, can I have that?
yeah, I'm gonna have to sell it to like drill on.
Yeah, that's true. You got to, because you have to get
that
it
would
to
actually, yeah.
If from Nigeria, you can.
But you can't really go up to a black comic and be like, dude, I thought of a joke for you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I'm going to have to pass it to you on paper.
On a note.
Yeah.
That's like whenever I think of a rape joke, I just go to any female comic and I'm like, hey, could you please do this?
Yeah.
I have
joke?
something for your experiences in
Yeah,
life.
exactly.
Yeah.
It's about how you raped somebody.
I wonder, like, because apparently every girl in the world has been raped several times.
Dude, I'm convinced that if you're a female in comedy, 99, and I say 99% to be conservative, 99% chance you've been sexually assaulted.
For sure.
It's so sad, but it just is true.
I think in a way, putting a female comedian on stage is sexual.
It's pretty brutal.
Yeah, they're under the lights, their bodies on display.
Yeah, it's pretty unkind. No one's listening. Everyone's just looking.
Exactly. It's like a lot of people. It's very tense in there. It's not like a comfortable situation for a girl.
100%. Yeah.
Are you on the Facebook page, the New York comedy scene thing?
I'm a member, but I haven't like looked at it in a while.
Once in a while, there will be like a huge blowout that drifts over from another like state scene. And so like a couple months ago, there was all this like stuff popping off in like Boston where basically a club owner had gotten fired because he would like watch porn and jerk off during shows, but his office was like connected to the stage. And he would like leave the door open and chicks would come in and he'd just be like watching porn.
Nice.
And then like half of the comments were like, he is a club owner, fucking let him do what he wants to do. It was his club.
This
It's so funny.
idolization of club owners needs to stop.
It's pretty bad.
Because they're all just like the worst people you've ever met.
Yeah.
They're all like Beetlejuice.
Once I'm doing theaters, I'll stop idolizing club owners. But as far as I'm trying to get into clubs, they're the best. I love them all. They're all amazing. Dude, he probably loved the like feeling like it was not voyeuristic, the opposite, performative. You know, like he's hearing the laughs on stage and he's like, this is for me.
Yeah, maybe he's got like a humiliation fetish and he's pretending they're laughing at his penis. He's like, this is the best thing. He opened 100%. A comedy club just to like that. People do. I feel like people open things because you remember that like there was like a Netflix documentary on that guy who opened like a motel. And in the motel, he built a series of like tunnels to go around and peep on all the people in the hotel.
That's a great idea.
My advice for anyone who wants to be successful is be a pervert first. Because you're not going to be like the guy from The Stand, you know, the guy who books The Stand.
What does he do?
He's a pervert.
Yeah.
I don't actually know this for a fact. But
it's probably good that we're saying this. Yeah.
Based on who he books, I can only assume he's a sexual pervert.
Yeah.
People like a bunch of people commented on like a note I posted yesterday because I asked like, is the booker for the Comedy Cellar on crack? And people were like, why? And it was only because I saw this one comic who got passed there, who I used to see at the Tiny Cupboard all the time. I'm not going to say his name.
Part of the pipeline to the cellars.
Yeah.
That's the cupboard.
Tiny Cupboard. And he was the worst, most boring comic ever. But he was one of those guys who like, you know, when you leave New York and all of a sudden like you're doing like bigger shows and stuff.
Right.
He like left New York, did bigger stuff, and then came back and like got passed at the Cellar.
Yeah,
smart.
I need to probably pull one of those moves.
Yeah, but it almost seems like
success.
That kind of stuff only happens to bad comics. I feel like.
Dude, they have something. There's something about, and this is why none of us are successful because we're so good, and that's why there's something about just the grind or something. Like there's another variable
there is
that's going on.
Yeah,
where it's just like. I don't know what that is.
I think it's like an obsession with fame. Like if you're like, you need an obsession of some sort.
Yeah.
Like whether it's peeping, jerking off, like whatever. Like
That's true.
That drives you.
You have a need.
Yeah.
You have a need.
real need.
Yeah. Because imagine if the only way you guys could come was if you performed at the Comedy Cellar. You would be there in 28 minutes.
Yeah.
It's like the urge so I think that like it's like a foot fetish. Something in the brain switches where it's like that urge to just be successful, famous, whatever it is.
Right.
I think that drives the people that are really high up in comedy, like the Sam Morrils, Mark Norman, like whatever, Joe List, they're like obsessed with comedy, like obsessed. It's almost disgusting.
Well, that's what I like about of those three in particular. And just general success. That's what I like about List so much, is because he's like, and he bags on himself for not being as successful as his friends or whatever. But in my opinion,
he's the best one.
He's definitely the best one. But he also is the most successful, in my opinion. Yeah. He has a family. He's financially stable. Mm-hmm. He's selling out. Is he making as much money as the other ones? No. But he's making enough money.
Exactly.
And I mean, maybe from his perspective, he's like, I could be making more. I could be doing more. It's like, dude, he is living the dream. He's famous, but he can walk around and no one's annoying him. Mm-hmm. Everyone's just like a big fan if they say anything. But like Shane Gillis, he's not walking around any place. He can't do that.
No.
So it's
but
just
he's hanging
nice.
out with cool people.
He is.
Yeah,
but do you think he's happy?
Dude, first
Probably
off,
no more than he was before he got that stuff.
Shane's lady is like AI. Have you seen his girlfriend?
No.
It's shocking. It's unbelievable, dude.
Yeah.
How attractive she is. She's like made in a lab. It's nuts. And it's like and Shane is like us.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think it's unfair to say that we, in terms of good lookingness, we are in the same-ish league.
He's not any Mario Lopez kind of guy.
Clark Gable.
Mario Lopez is
But
hot.
it's one of those things where like it keeps like the more successful that you get, the more people you hang out with that are cool.
Sure.
And then it keeps going, and the more chicks. It's like first of all, I could never. This is why I'm not famous.
Right. This is why
I could never handle the chicks. But realistically, I don't think I could. Like I've never had that attention on me, and I think like
you would just break.
Yeah, I think I would have like a Crystalia thing happening.
You'd fall in love with like a stripper,
with like a stripper or like a girl who's ambiguously aged because I'm like, just scrolling through pussy on my Instagram.
Yeah. You only know how old they are when you see their vagina. You're like, oh no, this girl's 15. You couldn't tell by the face at all.
But her pussy was big, Your Honor. I was going off the size of her pussy.
It had 14 rings.
Dude,
she was like an old oak. Yeah.
Dude, I will say, that's what's fun is
counting rings on a pussy.
That would be fun if like there was more like labia minora for every
year. For each year. Yeah, that would be kind of
flipping through it like a stack of bills.
Yeah. It looks like one of those flip books that tells a story.
Yeah, you can. It's like that wooden fish that you can like. That was a stretch.
A frog. One of the frogs croaking. Yeah. That's
oh my god.
No, I would say like in terms of like if you did have all of this like adulation and affirmation from these women, like that would be really annoying. But I think one of the most fun things, I was trying to do a joke about this a while ago, it just never worked because I'm not funny, is this girl, I was at Alex's bar recently and I was watching a Padre game and this girl sits next to me and she like tries to talk to me. And it was so fun to just give her zero attention at all. It's just so powerful. Because she's like, so who are you cheering for? And I was wearing my Padres hat. And I was like, Padres. And she's like, are you visiting? And I was like, no. All right. And I saw she was like pulling up her skirt, literally hooking her finger, pulling up her skirt. And it was so fun to just be like, you're getting nothing from me. I don't care about you.
It's baseball time, lady.
I care about you 0%. Except for how much fun it is to turn you down. Oh, it was so fun.
Yeah.
I loved it.
I don't have that willpower.
He 4-beat her. He was like, no, I don't have sex.
I mean, that's true.
She was like, do you know where the water is? He's like, no, I know. Shut up, whore.
Probably in my
You're a
penis
loose
that's never been touched.
She was like, she just kept asking me questions, and I was just one-word answers. No. I didn't say that I do live here. I didn't say whatever,
What made you want to do that? Were you just like in the mode of the game, or were you like...
I don't like.
It's Christian.
I don't like being hit on. I don't like being flirted
I don't like
with.
it either.
I don't like hitting on. I don't like flirting with. If a girl is like, so what's going on? I'm like, listen. You go away from me.
Yeah.
Go away from me right now. Especially a girl who thinks she's good looking and for sure assumes that she has the power.
Yes.
To be like, whatever. I'm like, listen, you are retarded. Go away from me.
Yeah,
I can't stand it.
I do have a similar fantasy where I'm like, I'm not trying to meet my wife online.
Okay.
Like, I want to meet my wife by rescuing her.
Sure.
In some way, you
Yeah.
know, like a wild gunman or something.
Yeah.
And I gotta like dive on top. Maybe I take
Is that
a
why
bullet.
you live under the train?
Yeah, exactly. That's why I just lurk around the train every night, pushing people onto the tracks and pull them out.
Yeah, exactly. Oh no, you almost fell.
Oh my God.
Gotcha.
Oh. As I'm pulling her up, my number is like on. I have like a slipper. I'm like, oh, what was that? Oh my God, those digits are exactly what my phone number.
That's so crazy. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I mean that is like the ideal. I think everybody wants that.
Yeah. Everyone wants to be Donkey in Shrek, you know, saving the dragon.
Fucking
That's a
dragon.
good point.
Actually, no. I guess a better analogy would be Shrek.
Yeah, it was interesting. One of the two that you went with. It's like, I guess
Donkey was kind of a cock, you know.
a little bit.
Also, he wasn't like he didn't want the dragon. The dragon is like a muscle mommy that like took a liking to him, and he was like a small black man that was like, I have to do this.
Yeah, it was kind of like a. It kind of reminds me of that like Rick and Morty meme with like the hot black girl and then Morty, you know?
Yeah.
Where it's like after I drill like or whatever, kill it in a black show. It's like Morty like this and a black girl. Because she's kind of a black lady, the dragon, you know? Yeah. Don't get her on your bad side.
Yeah. Well, also, it does seem like that it's kind of a, like she trapped Fiona, and then I think she just kind of trapped Donkey in a marriage.
They also gave her like,
I mean, that's probably rape.
Although I do blame Lord Farquaad on where the dragon is stationed.
It's weird that they gave her such big lips.
It is.
The dragon, the dragon's like,
she's got a big mouth.
It's just like a mammy in dragon form. I'm like, what is this?
She is like a thick Latina.
Yeah, and
like,
Donkey's Eddie Murphy.
And then she's got the big eyelashes too. Because remember when she blinks and he goes, "Oh, you're a girl dragon." Like you do have to
eyelashes are clearly glued on. Like
they did mascara. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I always thought it was weird that there's like female and male dogs. I know this is like a strange topic, but like you can like look at a dog and know if it's a girl.
Yeah.
You know? And it's like, wait, do I know this because I want to have sex with the dog?
Did your penis tell you it was a girl? Or?
No, it's like the way that there's like a there's like a feminine it's like you pour food, it's like that's all you gonna give me? But it's like there's like a femininity anemone to like a dog where you're like, oh, this is like kind of the sweet little loving like what, and the male dog is kind of like a little more like wound up, you know?
I think you're clocked in on a certain level that I'm not. I mean, I'm jealous.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I don't know if I could do that.
Well, if you can't, you can always just look for the balls.
Yeah, see, that's kind of where
that's what I usually see.
Yeah,
like on the pug, just a vagina sticking out.
A pug's face is kind of like a vagina.
Yeah,
dude, pugs shouldn't exist. It's wrong to make them.
Yeah, I love pugs, but I would never get one for that reason.
Yeah, they should never be made.
I think
all species are like coded in that way, where like birds, the female bird is like the uglier of the two birds.
Interesting.
So. And then, like, the male bird is the one that attracts the mate, so it's got all this plumage or whatever. But the female bird, because it has to hide, like, in the trees, is, like, supposed to be, like, more mute and ugly.
You're sounding like a real lib right now.
Dude, I had an anthropology teacher in college, anthro prof, where she was like, she asked the whole class, it was my sophomore year of college, she goes, what color is a cardinal? And then everyone's just like, red. And she goes, huh. Interesting how everyone always says the color of the male cardinal. Now she's like, you want us to say brown? For the bird that's called cardinal red? You want us to say brown? You know, if anyone did say brown, it's like, what a dick that person. Like, I hate that person. And then she goes, correct. Actually, the females are brown. So it's like, shut up.
Wow.
I hate it. She like tried to make us feel like we're sexist towards birds.
Yeah.
It's like, what do you do? What's your goal here, to make us hate you?
Look, man, it's a scourge.
Yeah,
the bird community is just...
They're also racist birds, by the way.
Yeah.
Sure.
When was the last time you saw a cardinal and a blue jay together?
That's a good point. Well, that's probably because
When's the last time you saw a black guy without a parrot?
That's interesting.
You know what I'm talking about? I mean, that's a weird one to like sweep the black community.
Black guys like parrots?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, in my neighborhood, they're all over the place.
Really?
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
White dudes and parrots.
Do you live in Jamaica, Queens?
No. Harlem.
Oh,
right
wow.
above the park.
Dude, that's kind of cool because they can help trash talk with you. Like if you just train the parrot, it's like now you got a buddy on your side immediately, just trashing whoever's walking by. You got a sidekick immediately.
Yeah.
You would think that they wouldn't, because it's kind of like a snitchy.
It's a snitchy, I was going to say.
It's a snitchy bird.
Like, say you're fooling around with another bitch in the trap.
Yeah.
And that parrot catches wind of that. God, the whole block is going to know pretty soon.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
You got to be careful with those parrots.
Yeah.
I want to get an owl. I think owls are cool.
I've been thinking
owls
about an
would be
owl.
sweet.
That'd be
Yes.
cool. But I don't think that they send mail like we've been talking
No.
about.
That's Harry Potter.
Yeah.
They do pigeons. Pigeons do mail,
Yeah.
but not
Yeah.
owls.
But I
But
just
owls,
love a loyal owl would be cool.
I love a loyal anything, frankly.
Yeah.
It'd be nice. Just any loyal
Anything that
animal.
likes me for
Yeah.
who I am.
Dude, have you been sad? Have you been really sad in public and then you see a dog and then you like want to go to the owner and be like, can I just be with your dog for a second? Like, when you're so
Yeah,
sad, you're like, I have a right to your dog because I'm so
Yeah.
upset.
I
Could
I
please
hate
just-
public dogs. I hate people who parade their dog around with this smug, like,
See-
oh, look at my dog.
Yeah.
I really don't like, when I had a dog, people would approach it and they'd be like, I'm like, it's got rabies. Get away from us.
Yeah, I mean, I
But
do the
I'm a
same thing,
curmudgeon,
but-
so maybe that's what it is. But I just hate that aspect of the dog. It's like a
Yeah.
whore.
I mean,
Yeah, it can be a tool to get laid.
sure. Yeah, absolutely.
And I think, honestly, the smaller the dog, the tighter the pussy.
I think, well, dude, that's the thing because it's a weird, like, inverse thing. Like, if you get a small dog, a woman sees a man with a small dog and they're like, oh, he's secure in his masculinity because he doesn't care that he's got this little tiny dog on. If you have like a fat bulldog or like a whatever, that's like a big truck.
That's having a truck.
People are like, that guy's a small dick, whatever. So it's like if you have like a small, cute dog, people are like, oh, that guy's sensitive. He's loving. He's whatever, like a cat. If a guy gets a cat, but you can't parade around a cat.
No.
But cats are. I think I'm a huge cat guy over dog generally.
I like cats like from a distance. I used to be allergic. Yeah,
I am allergic as well, but I do love them.
Yeah,
so.
they don't always love you back though, right?
That's totally fine. I don't want them to. I don't want them to love me out of obligation. I want them to love me because they know me. You know?
You
Dogs
wanna, like,
love
break their
everyone.
spirit.
Dogs are like,
Yes.
but a cat is like, listen,
Dogs,
I'll love you if I want to.
Dogs are kind of like the whore girlfriend who you
Yeah.
bring out, and she's just like hugging everyone. You're like, come on,
Could you stop?
save them for me. Those are my
could you stop
hugs.
doing that?
Yeah.
But with cats, it's like they hate everyone who comes. I'm like, yeah, they love me or they don't, and I respect that. It's the closest thing to owning a wild animal. You know?
I do like a pit bull though because it feels like you're kind of getting the dog.
Yeah,
You know
it's
what I mean?
kind of like
it's less of like a.
it's
an
like you have
open,
the
like-
potential
to be dangerous.
To be
is it?
dangerous,
Right.
but you're
So you have
you're
to,
restraining yourself.
I
yeah.
see that. That is very wild animal.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
but I don't know. I don't like the aggression.
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah,
'cause
you
I-
can't like bring a baby around because like it's like that Looney Tunes thing. They just see like a big turkey, like a Thanksgiving turkey. See, like,
The
I don't know.
steam.
Yeah, a turkey with a bib on it or something. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
It licks its like back of its head.
Yeah. Turkey with a fire in the middle of it. You're like, what the hell? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, those things are crazy. I don't know if I'm like ready for a dog. I might jump right into children, skip the dog.
Yeah.
Just
Dude,
get a
I wouldn't do a
kid.
dog in the city. You
No,
can
I
raise a
agree.
kid here because it can like it grows into something that can live here.
Yeah.
But a dog, it's like unless it's like a small. I just hate small dogs, but like anything bigger than like this is your. It's a fucking.
It's rough for the dog.
It's rough. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're
Well,
gonna
that-
bring it on an elevator, and it's like.
That's what feels like you're touting your dog, right? Is when you have a big dog.
Yeah.
Like the last summer or sometime I was seeing down on Bleecker, every weekend this guy had like
Dude, the
2
huge-
Tibetan Mastiffs.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Like
Oh
the
my God.
biggest dogs
they're just
you
lying
can
in
own.
some guy's shit.
Yeah, they're just lying on the
It's
street.
like
and it's
they
like
can't breathe. It's like,
if they live in New York, that should be illegal.
Yeah.
That should be illegal to have such a big dog like in this tiny city.
Yeah,
That's
they should have to
terrible.
live in like a snow-capped mountain.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. That's what
It's
they're
like where
made
they're
of.
Open
native.
fields, dog. Yeah.
Tibetan Mastiff. It's not,
Yeah.
not a Manhattan Mastiff. That'd be,
Eating dumplings and soup.
Yeah, exactly. Throat singing.
Just being
Yeah.
eaten. It
Yeah.
should just be in China somewhere. As
Right.
a dish.
Yeah.
You know, like the reason you're struggling is because
Pecking
you're alive
dog,
to
yeah.
begin with.
yeah, Tibetan Mastiffs are the cows over there. They just really,
I
really
honestly don't get why people are so like opposed against eating dogs. Like it's not.
it's totally cultural, dude.
Yeah, I just don't know if I would like the taste.
fact I get that
I don't
it's
know.
yeah.
I'd
There's
try it,
plenty
though.
like it's
Yeah.
cultural and you don't like the taste, but the fact that it blows people's minds that somewhere in the world people eat a mammal.
Yeah.
I'm like, come on, you can eat any type of fish raw. Like, how is it weird that people grill a dog?
Yeah.
Here's what's crazy is those same people who are like, how could you eat it? They just can't get it through their heads. They're the same people that would hear about cannibals and be like, wow, that's crazy.
Yeah,
And like that's it. They would totally accept that they're
Well,
all
yeah, they're the
cannibals.
same people that would like have an abortion and then like consume the like
Yeah.
whatever
Yeah.
thing.
The
Psycho.
placenta. Oh, yeah.
Like they're like, but the we need the nutrients.
Yeah.
Because I'm running a marathon. It's
Right,
like,
100%. That's why I got pregnant, so I could have an abortion and then eat it. And,
Yeah.
and then again, my best marathon time ever, 6 hours. All right, shut up. You suck. Yeah, dude. These people are so full of contradictions, so full of trash.
Yeah.
Would you guys eat the placenta?
Would I?
Yeah,
I'd pill it. But
I don't know.
that is cannibal, right? For people who say you can eat it.
I think
Maybe.
it depends on like geographically where you are, because I think in some places it's like a dish, and like some people just poke a straw at it. Like, "Oh." But like I think like in America we don't even like eat the foreskin. I mean, not that we would eat it, but like we just get rid of the foreskin.
Yeah, where do we
Yeah.
get rid of it too?
There's like no choice. Yeah, where
I
does
feel
it
like we
go?
should use those for skin grafts.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Just save them up, melt them together, and then someone,
yeah. Then
organize them by color. And
yeah,
then-
we create a new Elastigirl with
And
all the
then-
it
foreskin.
must suck to be a janitor at a hospital.
Oh yeah,
Use a
yeah.
hauling the foreskin bucket out to the trash.
Yeah.
Like, oh.
He's like, why don't we have a lid for this?
Yeah.
Who got rid of the lid?
Dude, imagine tossing a foreskin into the trash, like shooting it. And you're like, I missed
Yeah.
it. Oh, they'll get it.
He'll
They'll
get
pick
it
up.
later.
Yeah, it's probably. I imagine for some reason I imagine foreskin to be like very like bouncy, like elastic, and
Yeah.
you toss it off the trash can and it like roll. You know what I mean?
I think it's the same thing as eyelids.
Yeah.
It's like
sure.
the same skin.
Yeah, I would picture it kind of be like a ripped off callus type thing. Maybe a
Yeah,
little thinner
more,
than a
yeah.
callus,
Yeah.
just kind of floppy.
Yeah,
It is crazy.
That's
There's a
funny.
part of our body that we never got to meet,
Yeah,
It's
Yeah.
just gone.
That is true. I mean, it's the
yeah.
same thing as a little different than the umbilical cord because that falls off eventually.
Yeah.
But it is kind of an interesting thing. I would want to at least look at those parts of me.
Yeah.
I'd want to at least look at the umbilical cord and foreskin and just see what was.
Yeah, I'd want to know. I'd want to run like a little bit of an experiment, see what it feels like, both
Yeah.
on and off.
Yeah.
Because I'd imagine, like, I just have a dick that has not had a foreskin for 30 years,
Yeah.
and it's just been.
Are you 30?
I'm 30.
Oh my
Good for
god!
you,
Isn't that
man.
crazy? I'm
That's
fucking
good.
old, and like it's just been rummaging around in my pants, getting all like scarred and bruised. And
Yeah.
there's no sensitivity on it anymore.
Sure.
Like, if I could suck my own dick, the pleasure would be in my mouth,
Yeah.
not on my
Yeah,
dick.
Right. Yeah.
yeah.
That's a good point.
That foreskin is just like
You got to
it's-
scrape it off like a rubber tree when they carve it to like get the sap.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that is.
I
kind
don't
of
miss the
problem.
foreskin, man.
No.
Yeah, it's fine.
The head of the penis does look pretty cool.
I'm glad it's not
Sure.
sensitive.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
I don't
glad
need
it's
it to
not
be any
sensitive,
more
too.
sensitive than it is.
That's
right
the thing.
now.
Can you imagine? You just get way more horny if you're not circed.
But I feel like it saves the horniness for like when you're erect. Because it's kind of like
Well, yeah, it's in the shield, but
it's like those pants in the NBA that they like rip off
Yeah.
before the game.
yeah,
Game time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Then it's horny time.
Right. Yeah.
But I would just want to know what it feels, because if it already feels good, I will go on the record saying that putting a cock in a pussy feels good.
Yeah.
But I would imagine that is even better. Think
Yeah.
about how good it could be.
if you hit it more often.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's true. I mean, back in the day when the Jews started doing it, it was good because it kept you from disease because it was so hard to keep clean.
Right.
So like that was
Which,
why.
by the way, I bet it wasn't that hard to clean.
Yeah.
You just go like this, and you just have to wash it.
Yeah.
Right, but that's just the thing. No, just no one was doing that.
Yeah, it's like the
So-
same thing with like the fluoride in the water, where everyone's like, "Great, now I've got to brush my teeth." It's like, yeah, we should have been brushing our teeth.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
good point.
Although I do want to keep the fluoride in the water. I want to say that because like
What's the thing with the fluoride in the water? They're taking it out or putting it
RFK
in?
Jr. wants to get rid of it. RFK Jr. is getting rid of some stuff.
Yeah,
yeah, I haven't
and
been.
he wants fluoride to go.
He wants fluoride to go.
Isn't fluoride good though? For
It's good for your teeth, but I guess historically, it like over the span of time, like if you consume fluoride your entire life, your IQ drops like a total of like 10 points in your lifetime.
Throughout
There's
your
a-
lifetime?
Yeah, there's like a direct correlation between fluoride and your IQ.
Yeah.
That's why British people are so smart in their old age.
Yeah.
No fluoride in their. Also, why their teeth suck.
That's why the
so-
Dems are so big on water.
Yeah, big water.
they want their constituents to be just retarded.
Just as hydrated AF.
Yeah.
Just see a guy with Down syndrome. That guy hydrated.
Yeah,
I
that
almost
guy's
said
not
the
thirsty.
N-word there.
Yeah.
That wouldn't have been good. Oh, I actually have a fun little news article. I've been trying to incorporate a little news in this show.
Oh,
yeah,
It
let's
is
go. It is called
a
News from
news-based
bed, yeah.
show. And I only want to bring out like the most important news topics.
Sure.
'cause
Yeah.
I think that's something that
Sure.
but let's see here. It's okay. Dead air is like not that important to me.
No, we can.
Okay, you ready for this?
Yeah.
Leaked emails reveal that the Swedish minister is afraid of bananas. So the
Swedish minister?
the Swedish prime minister
OPM.
Yeah.
is afraid of bananas. Let's look into this. By the way, this segment where I read a news article never goes good.
Yeah.
So don't sweat it. Swedish tabloid Expressen revealed Wednesday that government officials have been ensuring in advance that all places frequented by gender equality minister. Oh, he's a gender equality minister.
And he's afraid of bananas.
Whoa, he's
huh?
afraid of just phallic things.
Yeah.
That's what
yeah.
he's scared of. Yeah.
Yeah.
His own penis scares him.
Paulina Brandberg. Oh, it's also a woman. Well, now it's making
Now we get it.
sense.
Now
Yeah.
we get it. Yeah.
Now it's dark.
Are
It's a good
free
dark
of
turn.
bananas. So she's making sure all rooms are free of bananas.
Is that just
Before
like
she
a
goes
code
into
word
it.
for men? Is that just like I'm
Maybe.
scared of bananas?
Yeah.
And then
Black
it's just
men,
do
a racist word for black men.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
Is it true?
I bet that's
Is
what it
this true?
No, that bananas is a racist word for black men?
No, no.
Okay,
No, I don't
good,
think
because
so.
I've been
You just-
yelling it at
You just
them.
made that.
The fuck are you doing, banana?
Oh, this makes a little more sense. Paulina Brandberg has a strong allergy to bananas.
Oh, she's a
right.
lesbian.
So it would be appreciated that there are no bananas in the areas where she will be staying.
Wow.
That seems like a big ass.
What is that?
Yeah.
Also, what does that mean? Like, obviously, looking at them doesn't do anything. Does the skin do like just don't eat the banana? Like that's
Yeah,
crazy.
just don't go near it.
It's not like does the aroma of the banana get you? Like
Yeah.
peanut butter is a little weird because it can like the particles can get in the air or whatever.
Yes,
I don't think
yes.
the bananas are encased.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
just
but if
don't
somebody's,
eat the
if
banana.
somebody's eating a banana, there's also oil on the outside, but if you're eating a banana, you could smell it. So it's the same thing as like peanut
Can
butter.
you smell a banana? I've
can
never
s-
smelled a
ripe,
banana. In
a
my
ripe
life.
banana? Yeah. Oh, yeah.
yeah.
That-
I mean, it's not as, you can't really smell peanut butter either.
No, that you can
You
smell
can
peanut
smell
butter.
peanut
If somebody cracks a jar, you're not going to be like,
Yeah, peanut butter is like you're cooking something.
but if somebody's putting it in their mouth and they're going, you're going to smell it. Like,
Dude,
it's the same with the banana.
I think that's placebo. I think that's placebo. I don't think it's real. But but even still, I mean, having an allergy to a banana, it's like practice some self-control. Why don't
Yeah.
you? Just don't
Yeah.
eat the banana.
I'm allergic to dust. Imagine if I told everyone you'd have to clear your
You
place
gotta-
from dust.
Yeah, no dust allowed.
like
here.
impossible.
Yeah, this bed's on the ground.
bed's
See,
on
that's
the
how
ground.
you're
Yeah.
doing
Yeah.
fine.
I've never dusted in here. I
Yeah.
have allergies every single day.
yeah, that well
Yeah.
that tracks. That
Where's
makes
my
sense.
job in gender equality?
Why?
You
that,
know?
is that is very funny. Also, it's probably got to suck that she is like, I know I'm the gender equality. Everyone like already hates
I
me.
know.
And she's like, by the way, I can't
Yeah.
do banana. And I get it's phallic, and it's just an unfortunate set of circumstances for her.
Yeah.
You know,
Because
She's
if
like,
she sees a penis, there has to be some kind of a
Yeah.
response.
Yeah.
You know?
100%.
I think it's placebo.
yeah,
They're probably like, "You're going to be the gender equality," and she's like, "Can I be anything else?
Please, anything else?
Can I be the nuke guy?
Yeah.
Whatever their name is.
I was assaulted by a banana. I was, that's gotta be. It's gotta suck.
Yeah, I was raped by a carnival barker, and he was holding the giant Rastafarian banana. I knocked all the bottles over in the process.
Terrifying.
That's crazy. Just getting like overpowered by a dude with one arm because in the other arm he's holding a giant stuffed banana.
And just like, hey, mom! Whoa!
He's doing the voice while also assaulting you with one hand.
Yeah, dude. That's an interesting. Also, the minister. That's interesting how everything seems fancier over there.
Yeah, that's like a religious thing.
Yeah, the gender equality minister. It's like, who is the gender equality god? Because they seem dead at the moment.
Yeah,
the
like only ministers I've ever known are a Eucharistic minister.
Okay.
Which is, I guess, like the person who gives the Eucharist at a Catholic mass.
Okay.
The only reason I know that is because my dad used to be that guy.
Oh,
Hates
cool.
bananas, my dad.
Yeah. Oh, interesting. Yeah.
And then, the minister of magic.
Sure. Again,
Cornelius Fudge.
Right. Cornelius Fudge.
Fudge Daddy. And then, this minister of gender equality. But I think a lot of that stuff is going away now that the T-Dog is in office.
Yeah. Minister of Magic is probably out.
He's probably out.
Too gay.
Yeah. Or he'll hire a new one. He'll be like Andrew Tate.
Yeah. Minister
Avada Kedavra.
Yeah.
Just a naked minister of magic.
Yeah, exactly.
Put his shirt on.
Yeah. Also, dude, here's what annoys me about Andrew Tate is no one seems to acknowledge the fact that this dude's a nerd. Like, have you heard how he talks?
Yeah.
He's a total nerd. He was like a rolly backpack in school nerd. He's like, well, you guys don't understand it. It's like, shut up. Stop talking like that. You weirdo.
He's like, you can tell in his chin.
Yeah.
Like, he's got nerd face.
Yeah,
and he's trying to grow a beard to, like, escape that.
Exactly.
But it's like, dude, the tattoo, we can all look past the tattoos.
Ink is only skin deep, man.
He literally had to traffic women to try to become less of a nerd.
Yeah, 100%. And I bet what he liked
he
most
still
about
did it in a
trafficking was
nerdy
the
way.
logistics. I bet he loved just getting it done. He's like, okay, let's get a spreadsheet. It's like, all right, you dumb nerd. Do it in your head, stupid. You data geek.
Hey, man. There's nothing nerdier
Have some pride.
I'm more the data analyst. I didn't really traffic them myself. It was really more of a, this guy, just the fact that no one talks about how him and his brother talk. No one's brought it up even once that I've seen. And it's like they talk so annoyingly.
Yeah.
Like I couldn't handle whatever they're saying. They could be saying everything I agree with, which they are. But I can't stand it.
Because I was excited for Trump as president because I just really didn't want Kamala. I was like, I don't think she knows anything or can do anything.
Well, that was interesting to me. Yeah, because she seemed really out of the limelight until Biden was pronounced dead, and then she had to pop up, and then everyone's like, "Oh, I forgot she kind of existed. Like, she wasn't really doing too much."
And it's like it's not that I don't want to vote for a woman. I just don't want to vote for a black woman. Could you imagine how much that would suck?
See, for me, it wasn't the black part; it was the Indian part. That's where I was like, "Oh, I don't want to do."
We'll never get that stink out of the Oval Office. Sorry, I had to hit my quota for racist jokes.
Sure, of course.
Otherwise, the fans get mad.
Yeah, I believe it.
I think that was all I had for news articles.
Dude, that's fine. Not much has been happening.
Oh, the other thing is the Alex Jones thing. Did you see that thing with the Onion?
Oh, yeah, the Onion bought
Is that real?
I think it's real, but also from what I understand, they just bought like the brand name of InfoWars.
Oh, okay.
And Alex Jones still has his own company that was above InfoWars. So I think like they didn't really rip anything away from him except perhaps the title.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't really know. I mean, I don't follow. I follow the Onion on Instagram, and then Alex Jones, I've never spent a second thinking about.
I'm always like, how does the Onion even have money?
Dude, I thought they were gonna shut down like a long time ago.
They're coming back.
I don't think anyone clicks on the articles, right? Have you ever read an Onion article?
They just started doing a paper.
Oh, really?
Paper article again. Yeah, they brought it back.
That's crazy. I mean,
cool.
Babylon Bee, I think, has been good for the Onion because they're bigger than the Onion now, effectively. And so I think that probably helps.
Yeah. All those sites, like the, whatever, there's like the girl one too, Reductress.
Oh, Reductress, yeah.
All of those things, it's like the money is in the headline, right? Because it's like the headline is a joke.
Right.
And then you have to write a full article based on that joke. But it's I don't know if you've ever tried to like do that kind of stuff. It's like everything you write after the headline feels like it's worse than the headline.
Yeah. You're like, I put it all in the headline. Why are we reading this? It is kind of one of those when you have to write it, you're like, I get why people only read the headline.
Yeah, we've become a headline culture.
Yeah.
The headlines should just get longer. We should just get rid of headlines and have the full article be the headline.
Yeah.
And trick everyone into doing it, because then they'll read the full thing.
That's what I've been telling myself, is that headlining doesn't matter. So it doesn't matter. I don't need to be a headline. Headliners are stupid. It's dumb.
Headliners are for Instagram famous people.
I applied for the Onion Fellowship. I put like a packet together, and it was actually really fun to like figure out. Yeah, it was a good exercise, at least.
Yeah, it is. I did the same thing for Greg Gutfeld.
Oh yeah,
I sent him like, no joke, like 100 jokes.
Yeah,
all of them were better than every single joke they've told on the show. And I was like, but the problem is I did it like as a bit. I was like, hey, I've never seen your show and I never will, but feel free to use any of these jokes.
That's funny.
I should like check in to see if they just like ran one of them.
Yeah, how long ago did you do it?
Probably like a year or two ago.
Oh, okay.
Like that.
Dude, my dad loves Gutfeld.
Gutfeld is big.
So whenever I go home, I'm watching. My parents have Gutfeld on, and I'm watching, and then they're like, "Oh, you know this person?" I'm like, "I know Joe Mackey. That's it. I know Joe Mackey's hilarious. The other ones I don't know, and the jokes are trash, and also the audience isn't laughing. Which I guess maybe that the honesty is nice about it, but it's just like, this sucks.
Yeah.
It
It
sucks.
does. Yeah, I went with James Donlin and James's mom to see Gutfeld because she came into town. She's like, I gotta see Gutfeld. So James is like, you should come along. I was like, fuck yeah. So we went, and like we were dying laughing the whole time just at like how bad it was. It was so much fun because like they'd tell a joke and they'd be like, yeah, Joe Biden's probably taking a nap, and then he makes like his face.
That's such a good Gutfeld impression. That's great. That was
like,
great.
We're just like crying laughing, and we watched like the tape after. Our voices were the only voices you could hear the entire time. They put us right behind the camera, and we're it was so great. But
That's
it's
hilarious.
Like, there's so much room for improvement, but I guess like what they do well is they are the only Republican talk show.
Dude, I was talking to my dad about that. Fox is the only conservative network, so of course they're the most popular. They have like 2 million viewers, and CNN has like 1 million. It's like, you've got CNN, ABC, CBS, MSNBC, NBC. Like you've got 5 different networks for liberals and 1 for conservatives. Of course, like the one conservative network is gonna get more than the individual liberal ones. Like
it's also, I think in the next 4 years we're gonna see a lot of these big networks either disappear or completely change what they're doing.
Yeah.
Because I guess during the election is like the biggest thing for these news sites. You know, this is where they make like all their money.
Right.
And all of them had like 1/10 of the viewership they had in the last election. Because now there's all these podcasts that are like, they'll go live during the election, and it's just a better coverage, you know? Because they're not like biased towards one side or just being like, this is like good for this and like whatever. Like I watched CNN during the election. I was like, this is horrific. It's embarrassing like what they're doing on that.
Dude, every 4 years is their harvest. That's when they reap the money. I think what they're going to do, if they're this is my thought, is that they're probably going to break down and become like your mom's house. They're going to have like a ton of different podcasts underneath their network name. That's what they have to. Like these successful podcasts pop up and become a network of other podcasts, like Flagrant Studios or whatever. You know, like what Schultz does. And so they're all going to now come down from up here, and they're going to have to do the same thing.
That's my Andrew Schultz. No way, bro.
He's Latino.
What are you talking about? This is crazy, bro.
Dude, dude, I feel so. I used to be so into them, and I'm not as much anymore.
Isn't it funny how like I started watching Red Bar, and I immediately lost all interest in all my favorite comedians.
Red Bar, I can't. I hate
Red
You
Bar?
gotta give it. You gotta get into it. It's the funniest show.
He is the ultimate trash talker. He
yeah.
destroys everyone. He's like too lazy to try, but like on camera, and a bigger hater. He hates everyone.
Yeah.
There's
Who is
no
Red
one
Bar?
he likes.
Oh my God! So this guy, his name is Mike David, and he's been doing this show for 19 years.
Yeah.
Did you know that?
Yeah.
He like started his own show called Red Bar, where he would just shit on comedians, but nobody was doing that. People, it was kind of like you're not supposed to do that because the comedians are the shit talking people, you know. And it was like he never really had a lot of popularity. Eventually, got a job with Compound Media, and got fired like 2 days into his job because he was calling Anthony Cumia a pedophile. And rightfully so, by the way, because Anthony Cumia, I guess, took a 17-year-old girl to her prom when he was like 40. And there's like photos and stuff.
Dude,
and, like,
Anthony, Ant's tough.
He's had a rough couple of years. Yeah.
Right.
But so then he hosted the Gavin McGinnis show one day and got like a bunch of people to follow his show because like he was just like didn't hold back at all, and they asked him to do an ad read on the show, and he's like, I'm not fucking doing this. I don't know this product, like whatever. And they like got really mad at him, end up getting fired. Now he has his own show. This is what I like about him. He has first of all, he's got the best set.
He's got a good set.
Any podcast. He's got the best intro song in any podcast, and he streams for 8 hours straight by himself.
Oh my God.
And he's just like, he's so funny.
Yeah.
He's
How do
just
you not
unbelievable.
become a desperate narcissist when you're streaming for 8 hours?
I have
You're
no
just
idea.
sucking your own dick for 8 hours straight. You're just like, just me.
Does he do it alone for 8 hours?
He's got his wife. Yeah, his wife is his producer, and she'll like chime in once in a while. Like, I think like Lemon Party did the best impression of him, where he'll like shit on someone, and then like she'll chime and be like, "Yeah, he does suck." It's like that's like the show.
Dude, it's crazy.
It's really good.
It's
I
like Too
recommend
Lazy
it.
to Try. But again, what sucks about the trash talking is it's like, I get that there's money in that for sure, but it's like, but you're not doing comedy. Like you can't.
Yeah.
But I guess it's a different thing. If they don't want to be comics, then I guess it's
No, I think
fine,
stand up he has no interest.
Yeah.
He just burns bridges and stuff, but it's an interesting thing that's happening because now he's becoming more popular than the actual podcast that he shit on. So like people are kind of like becoming his friends, but he still shits on them. So it's like he's kind of getting away with it, which makes me like adore him because I'm like, fuck, he stuck to his laurels. He didn't do all this. He doesn't put ads on his thing. He doesn't like do all that stuff to make money. He just stuck to his guns.
Yeah.
And now it's like working out. And
Dude,
I'm like, damn, that's
he's like if Mark Maron became what he wanted to become.
Yeah.
Like he's like Mark Maron's anger just unleashed on everybody. It's crazy. It's really frustrating to watch. But
I think it's like so genius too because you can watch it for two different reasons. You can either watch it because you hate the fucking comics and you like to see people shit talk people and you're not like to blame for it, you know? Or you watch it for the actual comedy. You know he's doing a bit with everything and then it's funny. So I'm like, damn, there's two, avenues.
Yeah, he's wild.
But I do understand, if you're a comedian.
Dude. Yeah, gossip sells, man.
Yeah, gossip sells.
Yeah, that's why Too Lazy to Try is taking off right now too.
What is that?
What? You don't know Too Lazy to Try? He's a YouTuber. He just makes his face is not on, but he just kind of deadpan talks about stuff, and he's like, so people really are not liking Tom Segura and Bert Kreischer's podcast right now.
Is he like a comedy news guy?
Kinda, yeah, but he's
crazy,
more
dude?
trash talk.
It is
than
crazy.
That people are like, that's like
it's like Joke
that's
World.
a news
Joke
source
World.
that people will just watch.
Yeah.
Like they don't watch NBC or any of the other political, and they're just like, oh, dude, did you hear what happened to Tom? Tom's socks ripped the other day.
Tom shaved.
Yeah,
and everyone's
like,
like,
bro,
what? That's
crazy.
crazy.
Doesn't his wife have cancer?
No way, really?
I think Christina P has breast cancer,
all
which
over
is a
lipstick.
shame.
Yeah,
I wish it was any other type of cancer.
Yeah. Breast cancer is the easiest one to get. Dude, everyone's aunt has had breast cancer.
Oh, I just didn't want her tits gone.
Yeah. Oh,
She's
I
got
see.
some real grade A
does she?
gagungas.
Oh,
Yeah.
I haven't noticed.
Couple of glazers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of tits, I don't know if you guys watched Jake Paul last night.
I did not.
I did watch that. I was gonna ask about
We
that.
glimpsed it.
There were some nice tits on those ring girls.
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't see
Yeah,
it.
yeah, always. They all look the same though.
Yeah.
They all look
Well,
the
one of them
same
was
for over
black, one
100
was
years.
white, but-
Yeah.
Yeah. They used to both just be black. Yeah.
Yeah,
And then there was a period of only whiteness. And
Yeah. Yeah, it was.
What do you think of
it was a
the
bad
fight, though? Dude, that was brutal, man.
It was really bad. I mean, after the first round, you saw how tired Mike Tyson was, and you're like, this is really sad.
Yeah.
Because he's 60 years old. Like,
it's just. Yeah, it was really. I saw it. I was watching. I was on the train, and someone was watching it. Is when I was further away from you. Someone was watching their phone. I was looking, and I was like, I watched one round. It was like round 4 or 5 or something.
Yeah,
and just the lack of contact, the lack of going in, and I was just like, oh, this is kind of sad. I'm happy I'm not watching this.
Yeah,
because this is.
Yeah, it was like watching your dad just get beat up.
Yeah.
Which is
the one thing I do like, though. I think all boxing matches should be a white guy versus a black guy.
Sure.
I think that should be the standard. They should be of equal age and talent.
Yeah.
But there's so much more.
Well, if it's white versus black, I don't know if that's going to be. What dream world you're living in.
First of all, it's easier to tell who's who.
Like the House Cup.
Sometimes on these fights, it'll have the names, and it's just like 2 of the ugliest looking women wearing the same outfit.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how am I supposed to tell these apart? I hate both of them.
Right.
They should be fighting.
And then they delineate by the shorts. And it's like, can we just
Yeah.
delineate by skin color? That'd be way easier.
Exactly.
We just do that.
You don't even need the names. Just write black and white.
Unless the black guy's wearing white shorts and the white guy's wearing black shorts. And then they go white, black. And then I'm like, well, that's just confusing.
Dude, I do think that the housing system at Hogwarts really is onto something. And if we adopted that into our justice system, I think it would make things a lot. Like, if you robbed a bank and then it's like, minus 50 points for black. And then like all the fights are like,
can you go into debt? I mean, can you go into debt for points?
yeah. There's
another 50. All right, you're at negative 8 million points.
yeah.
All right, we need a black guy to invent a spaceship or something. We need to get back into the green. Here.
Obama got you some points. Not as many points as you think he'd get you, but
the problem is who would be dealing out the points?
The Jews.
The Jews? Well, then the blacks are never going to win.
It would just be the same system. There'd be the heads of
each house.
Yeah, of each house. It'd be like
so
you would
like
elect a representative. Yeah, it'd be like Candace Owens.
You need a panel for each because you need.
You can't
Candace Owens. You can't have just Candace Owens.
Serena Williams. There's plenty of
Obama,
good black
Oprah. Come on,
Oprah.
Snoop. You know they'd get Snoop on there,
and maybe even Martha Stewart because her and Snoop are kind of.
She's a delegate.
Yeah,
the thing is, it would end up just being like Kai Cenat and like who's the other guy?
I Show Speed.
I Show Speed, yeah.
Just the Twitch.
100 point for black.
Yeah.
But also, what's nice about this, in Hogwarts, you have McGonagall, who is a Gryffindor house professor, but she can take points away from any of the other houses.
Right.
So you need to have people who can take points away. So Owens can take points away from the whites.
Yeah.
But the thing is that there's no favoritism except for once in a while all the time.
When I was about to say when Dumbledore just rips everyone else apart and gives it, oh look, last minute Gryffindor got 1,000 points.
Yeah,
that's epic
because of arbitrary heroism.
Because Harry let me touch him under the invisibility
and he hasn't told anybody about it.
It's the forbidden section.
Harry, this year you'll be taking private lessons with me. It's like,
bring your cloak.
Yeah, the problem with your system is like the team Asia would win.
Just
because they're so patriotic for Asians. You know?
They just be giving themselves.
They'd be sneakily giving each other points.
Can we? Say...
Yeah, but no, I think it would. I do think it would just even out.
Yeah,
yeah. I think you believe in the goodness of man, which is wrong. Yeah, I just don't think that would even out at all. Yeah. I think, and also there are more Asians, so
I just think an alternative to a good democracy could be a 4-house system. Segregated by race.
So the whites would get the Jews.
Yeah. It would be pigment only.
Blacks, whites, Asians, and Latinos.
Yeah.
And where do we put Indian people in the mix? Latino?
Depends on how they dress.
Yeah, it depends on which
go black
code they go. Yeah.
They can opt into black or Asia. Depends on what they. Depends on what they want. Dude, no, you've got a big Indian subculture of acting black, dude. So
there is.
So they could opt into black if they wanted to.
Okay,
and white, they can also opt into white. White Indians.
The IT Indians.
No, that's the most Indian of Indians. No, they're the most Asian.
We'd need like a reliable sorting hat system, really.
Yeah,
maybe
we
like
would
a
need a sorting
BuzzFeed
hat.
quiz that you take and it just decides what race you are.
But you have to say your pigment first.
What race are you most likely to be? And the question's like,
and they put the hat on me. I'm
chicken
like,
or
not
butter?
black people, not black people. Not black people, eh?
I can tell you what. Yeah, well,
you can do great and powerful things as black.
A lot of powerful people have come from the black side.
Are we just
He just
calling
starts
black
listing
Slytherin?
them.
Is that what we're doing?
Yeah, it's like,
Martin Luther King was black. He did great and terrible things.
great and terrible things.
Well,
Toni Morrison was black.
Do you think we will learn anything about the MLK assassination now that it's kind of, the agenda, I guess, is kind of to reveal a lot of these secrets that the,
Do you think Trump
government
is
has.
going to leave office? A lot of people are worried that he won't.
yes, he's going to leave.
He's going to
office.
leave, right?
leave office?
Yeah, after his term. He's not going to
What?
create a dictatorship or whatever.
Oh, no, I don't think so.
I think on his way out, he's going to just be like, oh, yeah, well, like a mic drop. Here's a bunch
Yeah.
of stuff I'm not supposed to say.
I think honestly, like, I was never. Or it's honestly kind of funny because like I never was into politics until a girl was like mad at me and she's like, "You need to educate yourself." So I did and became a Republican, much to her chagrin.
Yeah.
Whoops, wrong education. That's why it's so funny when people are like, everyone needs to vote. And then you go, I'm voting for this person. And then they're like, no. It's like, okay, so shut up.
Yeah,
up.
exactly.
You mean everyone needs to vote for who you think they should vote for.
I saw a very funny tweet on the day of the election. It was like, if the lines on the election are too long, just find someone in line who's voting for the opposite person, make a gentleman's agreement, and both go home.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It's like, yeah.
That is very funny.
But what was I talking about? Becoming a Republican.
Yeah.
So, like, I've been following it a lot this election, and I think that the future is actually pretty bright because I think J.D. Vance is, like, maybe the best representative that they've had in, like, a long time.
Oh, I had no idea.
Yeah, he's, like, a really down-to-earth young guy, and I think that's, like, something that was missing from their party.
Dude, young is big, dude. Everyone's
Yeah.
missing young. Like, Republicans are missing young. Democrats are missing young.
Yeah.
That's why they didn't do it, because Kamala came in with old dead Joe. You know? So it's like, all right. Yeah, she didn't have a great backer. If her president that she was VP of was better, she'd probably.
She didn't have a chance. The only thing I didn't like about her is that she was really marketing to be the next president.
Yeah,
Yeah, but her whole thing was, I'm just the better option. Like, I'm not as bad as the other guy.
Yeah,
there was no
she's
like, I
policy.
suck, but
Yeah.
it won't be as bad as having this other guy. And everyone's like, yeah, but he has a bunch of views. Like, what are your views?
Yeah,
And she's
well-
like, well, I'm just not as bad as that guy.
I felt bad for Joe Biden too because
sure, of course.
When the debate happened, the reaction, I was like, this is the most fake reaction I've ever seen because like everyone on the left, like almost like they were just told to say this, was like, he's too old to run. But like I had been watching Joe Biden give speeches for his entire term, and he was that old and that like fucked up the entire time. So when I watched the debate, I was like, oh, he's actually more together than I thought.
Oh, interesting.
And then the reaction was the opposite. And I'm like, oh, you guys just were pretending the whole time.
Dude, we were watching. Were you at QED with me when that was there? We were at QED for a mic, and they're like a very progressive liberal club out there. They when Kamala was running, they had a framed picture of her already, like she was already president,
like she was Kim Jong-un,
which was so hilarious.
Yeah.
And so we're watching it. It's on the thing, and the bar owner was like watching and is like, "Wow, this is amazing!" Like, look, so pro Biden at the time, and. Then on CNN, like the headlines are popping up. It was like disastrous Democrats, like horrifically bad. Like on the liberal network about Biden, it was like, yo, this is wild.
Yeah, it was scary.
liberal?
Yes.
It is, right?
Every network is liberal except for Fox.
Except Fox.
And one.
And Twitter.
Yeah. Well, Twitter now.
Right.
Yeah. X. I mean, I think all the MLK stuff, that's all it might come out, but it's not gonna
be as rewarding.
Who the hell cares? People are gonna be like, "Yep, it was this." And we're like, "Yeah, we knew it." Like it's been so
That's true.
sensationalized.
It's almost been debunked, you know.
Yeah,
Like,
that when the truth does come out, like it'll be interesting within particular families. Like if my dad ever believed it,
Yeah.
Because I told my dad, I'm like, yeah, I'm pretty sure he got killed by the FBI. My dad's like, no.
Yeah, yeah.
And then it's like,
Yeah,
and then it shows that he was, and then he's like, well, all right.
The older generations.
Yeah.
Enfranchisement.
Like, it's the same thing with, like, 9/11. They're going to be like, the truth of 9/11 will come out, and it'll be like, oh, no, actually, a guy with Down syndrome ran into the cockpit and flew the plane in the building because he saw a bouncy house on the 33rd floor.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, that's not scratching the itch that I wanted.
Dude, I wanted to do a joke. Maybe I'll do it when I'm a better comic.
When I'm older.
There's a joke. Well, which one I can find a way to make it funny, I guess. I want to do a joke about, like, in Iceland, they have no Down syndrome or autism there because they abort every single child that has it, which is terrible. And I was saying, like, that's a missed opportunity for, like, ISIS or Al Qaeda or whatever. Like, they should recruit these Downs kids.
Yeah.
Because it's like, you know, who's not getting pulled over at TSA? Like a retarded Aryan. You know, like they just get them to go in there and try and, you know.
The problem with that, though, is, like, Downs people don't have a filter, so they'd get in line and be like, I'm going to blow up the
I'm going to
No
blow
one
up the
trusts
World Trade Center.
But no one trusts them, though. Everyone's like, that's a very good idea. All right, get on the plane.
True,
and they do it, and they're like, oh, dear Lord.
He would be wearing the vest on the outside of his jacket.
And, like,
He's like,
a Gatorade towel wrapped around his head.
He
I'd
walks
be like,
in.
oh, it's not Halloween, honey.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm a terrorist.
Whoa, that's kind of offensive.
Wow,
Anyways, go
anyway.
ahead.
Who am I to speak of it?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I think that's a missed opportunity.
As it all depends on the if it's a black TSA lady, they are not holding back any punches.
Sure.
You know, they're gonna put something up his butt to check it out.
Yeah. That's anyways. Yeah, I think all the conspiracies are gonna come out. I mean, the UFO thing already came out, and people were like,
dude, I was talking to this, like, a crazy dude the other day, and I was like, so do you think that, like, Bush did 9/11? And he said, no, but Bin Laden was innocent. And I've just never heard that theory ever. I've never
Such an
heard
awesome
somebody
take.
say that he was innocent. And
Yeah.
I was just like, that's awesome.
That was like a TikTok thing, I think, right?
That Bin Laden was innocent.
Where like all these young girls were like sexually attracted to Osama bin Laden.
Well, dude, there are people who are like, did you read the
my
letter
God.
about why he did it? And
Yeah.
then other people are like trying, like American Gen Zers, like trying to justify it. They're like, yeah, actually, it was for like a good. It's like, okay, shut up. You're about you're being radicalized currently. That is what's happening to you. It's nuts. you
So
know?
funny, dude. That's such an awesome take, though.
Bin Laden.
Oh, that's hilarious.
To be like,
I've
the
I've
moon-
watched. Yeah, I've
the moon
watched Team
landing was
America.
real.
Yeah.
JFK was not assassinated by the FBI.
But Bin Laden.
Bin Laden was innocent. The
Yeah, that's
guy
funny.
had a clean slate. He was dragged through the mud. It was Cheney. Cheney didn't like what they were doing with oil, and
Yeah,
Wow,
that's
what
so
the-
crazy,
yeah.
dude.
That's
The
hilarious.
moon landing one, like, I don't even care if it was fake. My interest in the moon stopped when I was about 5 years old. You
Yeah.
know, like, there's nothing out there. Who gives a shit?
Yeah.
And I don't like Neil deGrasse Tyson, but he said it best when he's like, "Look, whether or not we went, the math is there.
Yeah.
That's all you need. The math is there. We could do it."
And they've
doesn't-
gone back. It's not like
Yeah.
even if that was fake.
Yeah. Who
Now
gives a
there's
shit?
4K videos of people like drinking water next to the moon. You know what I mean? Like,
Dude,
Is that really?
Tyson has gotten so annoying with his fame. He's so obnoxious now. If you listen to him on podcasts, like I can't listen to him anymore because the subject is so fascinating to me. But it's like, dude, he's just so annoying. Like he thinks he's cool now.
Yeah.
and it's like, oh no.
He also talks to you like he's like narrating like a child book. You know,
Yeah.
he's like, "The universe is made mostly of cum."
right.
And if you drink the cum like I do, you will realize.
Yeah.
Like he's such a He's like, oh,
William
Yeah.
Attenborough, but about
yeah,
space.
It's just kind of demeaning because he's like, yeah, I'm the smartest guy in the room
Yeah.
and whatever.
Yeah.
And it's just like,
it's like,
really-
yeah, you're on Joe Rogan.
Yeah,
of course
exactly.
you're the smartest guy in the room.
Right, 100%.
Yeah.
What if Jamie was actually this dude? For that, if Rogan ever has like a final episode,
It should be with Jamie.
it should be with Jamie.
Yeah.
and he should just keep telling him to pull stuff up. So
Jamie,
he's got to
can you
like
pull
get up
stuff
from
up?
his chair.
Yeah, exactly. You gotta change things. Jamie, you pull stuff up. Wow, wild, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, this was wild that we were able to do this for
Yeah.
so long. Wow. Well, could you pull up that?
When do you
episode?
think that'll end?
I don't know,
The
man.
Rogan experience.
Dude,
I feel like the CTE is kicking in. I've noticed the decline.
Really?
Really?
Yeah, I was a big Rogan guy when I was in like college. Because it it was the only place where you could hear like a biologist talk to a retard, you know?
Yeah.
So you're like, oh, this is perfect.
There's so many places to do that now.
Yeah.
It's not as big of a-
And I think like he's kind of slipping, but the problem is like he had such a big fan base, and now it's like he's basically a news site.
Right.
So
Sure.
it's like people aren't just gonna leave him.
Right.
He's already done so much for podcasting that people are gonna stick with him. But I think it's all gonna depend on him, like when he feels like it's time, because I don't know.
Once he's tired of doing it, I think.
Yeah.
That's really it, dude. It's so funny. There's a joke in The Office from like whatever, 05, 06, and Steve Carell is like, he in a cutaway, he's like, Michael is like, yeah, I'm a huge Fear Factor fan. Really, I'm just a fan of anything Joe Rogan does, actually. And like in that joke, that's like a huge punchline.
Yeah,
because
yeah.
it's like Joe Rogan.
Yeah,
who
who
the hell
cares
cares?
about- yeah.
He's like a whatever comedian
Yeah.
on Fear Factor, and now he's like, pew, like skyrocketed. Like if you
He's
played
a
that back
plant.
now, people would be like, "Wow, I didn't know Michael was red pilled."
Yeah.
Like, so-
Yeah, that is crazy.
That's
Dude,
so funny.
Old people, man, they're getting a tough run recently. I saw a movie last night, and it was like before they started it, Martin Scorsese like introduced the cast and he's like old and was just like incontinent, and he was like trailing and babbling, and I was like,
Dude, that's just
Yeah.
what
like
old
the greatest
people-
filmmaker of all times. You should
Is
stay
gonna
inside.
die one
yeah.
day,
Yeah.
yeah.
It was brutal.
Here's the problem: is I think the idea of retirement has escaped our culture, and so just
Yeah.
no one's being like, "All right, see you guys."
Yeah,
I'm
leaving
getting
in their
outta here."
prime.
Like
You know,
that,
like
right.
they're just still in it, and so everyone's like,
Yeah.
"Why is this person acting stupid?" It's like,
Yeah.
I don't know, because they're 89.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why. And it's just like, let
Yeah,
let
yeah.
them be old and stupid. Can we allow that? And it's just
Yeah.
like no one's allowed to slip ever.
I think there's a fear of death with those people, because it's like
Yeah,
when your
everyone.
whole life you've been working and then you stop,
Yeah.
like you just die. It's
Exact-
just
well,
like over.
Again, I mean, it's a total lie of the, I'll go on a huge rant, but yeah, I think everyone's scared to death, and so they can't handle stillness because we're like sharks. You got to keep going, otherwise you die. Except you're going to keep going and die anyways. So how about you reckon with that? Which is
Yeah.
why I feel like you're very blessed to have had a great DMT experience.
Oh my God, yeah.
Like
Yeah.
the DMT.
Yeah, I lost all interest in everything.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe you're cursed, but
No, I stopped worrying about a lot of stuff.
That's
It
good.
it didn't like, it's not like still with me, but I can kind of look back on that
And access
time
it.
and be like, oh yeah, remember how I was there when I would just look at the sky and be like, God, it's so beautiful that we live here and everything.
Yeah.
And it's like, I know that was me for like a couple weeks after I did it. So I'm like, okay, there is something to that.
yeah,
And I think that's helped me immensely. But
yeah,
it also does get you to, there is something about like when you're anxious and you're paranoid and you're like, I'm never going to make it, like whatever, that does drive you further, like when you're kind of
Sure.
content, I think you're not going to really do too much.
Well,
but-
that's the problem. There needs to be like a weird mixture of like contentment with drive. Like, how do you do that? Because the only way we understand drive is out of need and fear. Like,
Yeah.
it's like, oh, I need to do this so I can achieve. Like, I can't be content, but I got to be, I want this other thing. But it's like,
Yeah.
can you be content with where you are and just act out of enjoyment? Like, can you do stand up because you love it, not because you need it?
I think that's
you
what
know?
it used to be too. And that's like a big reason why I stopped, because like I felt like the heart of what stand up is gone now. Like it used to be like the people who could not exist in reality. Like they couldn't function in everyday life,
Mm.
And it was a smaller select group, and it was like purely about the love of comedy.
Right.
But now it's become so big that like there's always this looming fame thing, and like everybody has all the tools they need to like blow up. Like all you have to do is strike it big like one time with a reel. And it's like having that possibility, I think, is like having a cloud, It's like you almost have to ignore that, because
Yeah.
For sure,
it's
yeah.
supposed to be a long thing where you're struggling and you're trying to find your voice, you're trying to figure out who you are, you're working on your material in silence,
It's like carving a statue out of marble.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's like when you rush that, or the first thing that comes by that people like that you do, and you cling on to that, you see it a lot with people who do the videos of themselves, like filming themselves walking around. It's like, yeah, one of those videos hit it big, and now that's who they are.
Yeah.
I love JJ Lieberman. I think he's like one of the funniest guys, but like he lost an entire Instagram following, had to start over again, started doing that thing like, I'm not a pervert, you know, he started saying that, and those videos took off, but now it's like, that's his identity. And I'm like, I just feel like you're more than a bit, you know, a recurring bit.
I mean, that's the same thing that could happen on stage too. Like with Mark Norman, I think he's got his style and very quick, and he doesn't tell stories about himself, and he does all this. I mean, he's talked about it on podcasts because he just does what works. He's like figured out the formula, and he's just like bang, 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 bang. And in terms of like growth, is you've got to be uncomfortable, you've got to bomb. And I'm not saying he doesn't bomb and doesn't try and change and stuff. But like when you find a formula, it's really hard to break from that formula because and that's the thing is like, if you have just the love of comedy and you're doing it for that, like that's where it has to come from. All this other stuff has to be accidental and like, you know, tertiary really to like the love of comedy.
And I'm always sucking Louie's dick, but like Louie, I think, has a great example of that because like he kind of was like that really dark guy, and then he would have like some lighter bits in his later specials, and then he would always have longer bits with like more of a message. But then, like in even later specials, he would have just jokes, like just like a short joke, that would go between bits. And I'm like, oh, he's doing different things. He's like spreading his wings. He's always trying to like grow.
I feel like his career has that same like mentality behind how he builds a special, which is just he does material for a year and then he throws it out completely, and that's how he's had to restart essentially like 4, 5, 6 times. Where it's like he did one chunk of material for like 15 years, but then he had kids and he just was like, this is the thing on stage where he just started talking about that, and then he does the specials in that way, and then he got really big. He was up there, and then he, you know, got the allegations, and he had to completely restart, and now he's, you know what I mean? Now he's a movie, he's a director, and
he had to throw away his
and
jerking off in front of women material.
Exactly. Can't do that anymore. I mean, it's this cycle of, you know, death and rebirth and all of that stuff.
But
and
I
the
think
problem is
people
don't want the death part in order to be reborn, and that's kind of the same thing with, I mean, tying it together with why these old people are still in public is because they don't want to be, they're scared of the next phase of their life, which is the end of it. So they're just sticking in public because they don't want to die and be, in a small way, reborn into retirement. They don't want to figure out a new thing. They just want to do the same and be praised for it at a time in our culture when we are the least forgiving of mistakes ever. Ever. And so it's like, you got to be perfect. And then someone, you know, missays a word or whatever, and then we're like, wow, they're cooked. They're done. It's too bad. But
I was thinking about this, like, it's amazing. I don't know if you ever see the comedy Def Jams. Like,
I'm familiar with them.
You ever seen the one with Bernie Mac?
Yeah.
Where like he tells a joke and then like he's like, hit it, and it's like boom, and he's like dancing. I was watching that and I'm like, I can dance better than Bernie Mac. You know? Like, I was like, this is corny as fuck. And it's only because, like, you know, time has gone on and we've never, you know, been all that nice to black people that they finally got good at dancing. But this was like, I was like, oh shit. And I was watching it, I was like, it's so interesting that like what black comedy is. Because like the reaction from the audience is so much different. Like there will be laughter, but then like sometimes they'll tell a joke and there'll just be like a woman standing up and be like, it's like that. You know, I don't know what she's saying, but she's just like yelling something.
It will be if it will be.
She's yelling a Kamala quote. She's like, I'm unburdened by what has been. And then there's
Coconut tree.
And then there's like people yelling, and then it cuts to like another woman, like for some reason she's angry about it. She's like, I told you apologize for that. I'm like, what is it? But it's such a like culmination of like different kinds of reactions. I'm kind of like, this is like what I would like stand up to be, where it's like not everyone is sitting there going
but dude, that's
that happened.
But that's the difference between like black comedy, white comedy is like the same difference between black church and white church. You know, it's like, it's the same thing. Like black church is like loud and active and involved, and there's a call and response. I'm listening to this guy. He's like, it's a white church, but like they're more Pentecostal and like more charismatic and stuff. And you can just hear in the background, people are constantly like from the crowd being like, keep going. Yes. And if anyone did that in my church growing up or my church now, they'd get kicked out. You kick the hell out of there. It doesn't matter what your skin color is. If you're making noise, you got to get the hell out of there. You know? And so it's like, it's just completely different. Same thing in comedy. If somebody laughs Like if it's a white comedy show and everyone's laughing and then someone goes, "Yeah, that's right."
Yeah,
you know, if
like
they do that 3 times, they're kicked out. They're gone. It's not a cultural thing, or it is a cultural thing.
Yeah.
But some people are like, your culture of talking is not welcome here, so you need to go.
Yeah.
It's like,
I like a good black special because they have one camera facing the stage and they have 7 facing the audience.
It's about the audience.
They're using the mic audio from the stage, and then they have like 100 different like booms.
Yeah, just people being like,
they have lapels on in the audience.
that's why they're always crushing. The sound audio is so good with those. It's white. There are white specials when I'm like, I think that guy's bombing. I think he's bombing on the special right now.
Did you see Dion Cole's special? His new special?
No, was it good?
He had one joke that was fucking hilarious. He was like when black guys cheat on their girl, they bring their new girl to like white places.
Yeah.
So other black people don't see him there. And she just goes, "Bitch, why am I at a medieval castle?" He's like, "Shut up and eat your haggis." It's so funny.
That's awesome. That's hilarious.
What time? I feel like we've been cooking here. Oh my God, yeah. I think we did like an hour 20.
All right.
wow.
So that was beautiful, boys. That
Sounds
was
good.
cooking there.
Yeah, it was fun.
Hell yeah.
It was a good time.
Well, this comes out tomorrow.
Great.
So if you have
nice.
anything, between tomorrow and eternity that you would like to plug.
I have no shows, but I do have a podcast coming out eventually.
Oh, hell yeah.
With the great Grant Moore.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Call-
Grant Moore, too scared to come back on News from Bed.
No way. Too scared?
No, he said he would come back. He was doing something for like Timu or TiVo, Tubi.
Yeah. Of great Tubi fame. He's dropping a special at Tubi. But yeah, we have a podcast. It hasn't dropped yet, but we've recorded a few episodes in the can.
Hell yeah.
Called Call Him Father.
Wow.
Which is fun. It's
That's
just,
pretty cool.
Because I'm Christian and he's not. And so it's his idea. And we're just
he's
reading-
literally the spawn of Satan, 2 gay dads.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. And we're
Yeah.
reading the Bible together, just going through it, just talking
That's
about
a great idea for a podcast.
And so we're starting Genesis 1:1 and just going through week by week to see how far we get.
Wow.
We're not like actually reading it out loud, but we read it through the week and then we talk about. And we see
Do
how
you guys
far
have
we
like a planned date for when it's launching?
get. I texted him. I asked him. I was like, "Should I plug this?" If he asked for plugs, and then he was like, "Yes, give an arbitrary date, so we have to have something out by then."
Oh, okay.
Just to like push us. So we're shooting for early December. We're shooting for early December. And
Early December.
We're banking a lot of them, so we're going to be every week on the week, whatever. But yeah,
hell
Call
yeah.
Him Father obviously is a play off of Call Her Daddy.
Sweet.
But it's a religious pod because I'm Christian and he's not. He's intrigued. So.
Hell yeah. We'll evangelize. That's all I can say.
Well, we'll see. If he doesn't become a Christian, I'm going to hell. So it's a lot riding on this for me personally. Not great. But.
Alex, what do you got?
Dude, I had my first show in over 6 months.
Wow.
3 days ago.
Wow.
Oh,
So
plug for
you
yesterday.
can't come to it, but you can think about that.
Think about how it went. Yeah.
Think about me
I remember I did your show and bombed horrifically.
At Scuba?
at the bar.
Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah,
that's a
man.
hard room, man.
I walked an older
was a-
couple on an
Nice.
abortion joke of all
Yeah.
things. Yeah.
Wow.
That was a
Crazy.
great time in my life. Getting up once a month.
Yeah.
Had a show I ran at a rundown dive bar.
Hilarious.
It was great, man. Back in the day, dude. It was so funny because we used to we'd book people we really respect, and they'd come and just
Just eat shit.
Adam Christopher did 25 minutes there, and it's probably the coolest thing I've ever seen.
Wow.
In bar show comedy,
Yeah.
where, nobody was listening, and he was just just ripping, dude.
Freestyling.
It was so funny.
That's awesome.
But yeah, no, I got nothing coming up.
Cool.
You got nothing?
No.
What about Instagrams? Any
Yeah, finally,
Instagram?
I'm dropping reels once every 4 months. I got Alex Mahaney, my name, Alex Mahaney.
hell yeah.
I'm
And
checking
Josh
it out.
Creedon.
Josh Creedon comedy. Yeah, that's it. And then we'll make an Instagram and everything for Call Him Father as well.
Hell yeah.
Every
But-
time I post a video, I lose 1 follower.
Hey, if you follow him now, it could be you unfollowing him the next video.
Yes,
we post,
yeah.
So follow him now.
Well, hell yeah. Thank you guys very much.
Dude, thanks for having
I
us on your
appreciate
bed.
it.
Yeah.
It's been
Cheers.
great. Cheers.